Hi everyone, my name is Maya. I am a student. I'm taking Major World Relations, winter 2019. So for my class, I had to do a project where I got to visit a religious place that was not mine, particularly Eastern religion. So I chose to go to the Jain Center of Southern California in Buena Park. I attended the Jain Center on February 8th. I got there at around 7:15 in the morning, and I left about 9:30. There was this ritual that they perform every morning. It's called the Paksalachi, and it's basically where they go and they do the 8 pujas. So with my experience, and I'll add the clips from the day that I went, I also attended with a classmate. Her name was Kristen. Kristen, I'm so sorry if I messed that up. But anyways, we had an issue where when you go, you walk up and you're supposed to wear like light clothing. I wore a light jacket and I wore black leggings, and I felt a little embarrassed, but I had nothing else to wear. But they didn't tell me anything, so I don't know, I just felt bad, I guess. But we rang the doorbell as it stated, and there was a man who was kind of confused that like we were there and everything, and he didn't really want to let us in, and he told us to come back at 9:30, and then we could get a tour. And we're like, oh, like, we kind of have to leave around that time. That was the plan initially, and it was a little frustrating, but we were kind of panicking outside. And later it was funny because we realized that they could see everything, like probably like us panicking like crazy. But eventually he came downstairs and he talked to us, and he told us that we could watch and be able to talk to someone who spoke better English than he could, which was fine. So we went in, and he told us to go into the changing area. There we had to take off our shoes and our socks, and the entire temple was basically like tile, marble, super beautiful, very like white and simplistic was the best way I can put it. But the floor was very cold at 7:15 in the morning, very cold. So we went barefoot. We went up the steps into this room where they had these readings and these two almost like sculptures. They're very big, very beautiful. I'll attach a picture at the end of this video. But he had us read what was on the walls, and it was really interesting. And then around 7:30 was when the Paksalachi was going to start, and right before he introduced us to a woman. Her name was Harsha. I think that's how you say it. It's around that. But she told us that she would talk to us after, and it was fine. So we were supposed to sit in the back on these chairs and just kind of watch, which I thought was interesting. The room where they have their ritual and their gods was very interesting. It was very like detailed, like on the top, like it was very, very beautiful. I don't have pictures of that because I didn't think I could take pictures. So if you want to see it, you should go. But basically the Paksalachi was where they do the 8 pujas. We learned about this a little later, but it begins with the first one, which is water, where they go and they pour holy water over the deities. And from what Harsha told us was that they do it 3 times, and they wipe the deities 3 times. Following that, that part probably took about the most time out of everything, because it was very, you had to make sure you cleaned it off very well. Um, but it was really interesting to see. The next one was sandalwood and saffron, where they have this almost like a paste, and they go and make dots on the deities. Um, the following one was flowers, where they give flowers, then incense, and then lights. Um, so those were all performed in the area of the deities, and Harsha told us later that, of course, we weren't allowed in that section, which, of course, is fine. I'm not a member, so I understand. But what we learned was that before each Paksalakshi, a member of Jainism needs to shower, and they have these special clothes just for this ritual, for the entire thing. I explained, and I'm gonna follow to explain, but basically, like, these clothes are only for that. You cannot eat, you can't use the restroom in these clothes. Like, you have to use these clothes only for that. And I thought that was really interesting. But anyways, after they exit the room, of course we didn't have those clothes, so that was like a requirement. But you can step away from the deity area and have your own private, like, pujas. And these were basically on this like red tablet, and they brought rice, sweets, and fruits. And this was interesting because they first poured the rice and they made them into the signs of the swastika. And my initial reaction is, like the Holocaust, but from the readings, I knew that they were based on the 4 states of humans that they can be born in, and Harsha re-explained it, and she said that the 4 states the soul can be born are human, plants, and animals, like a heavenly being and a hell being. I don't know if she used the word hell, but it was like under the earth type of thing, similar to what Christianity would say hell. But she explained to us that there's really no death in Jainism. They don't believe in that. They just believe that the soul kind of leaves the body in which they are in and enters a different one, unless they, of course, go to moksha, which is the basically relieving of the soul from the cycle of being born again. And that's the goal of it, is to finally get to that, I guess, relief of not being born again. It was made really interesting. But along with the swastika, there are 3 dots, and those 3 dots are for right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct. I thought it was really interesting because Harsha was very, very detailed, and I honestly wish that I could have recorded my interview with her, but of course I didn't want to record right in front of the deities. But sorry, I have a little paper to remind me of everything I need to talk about. Before they enter the area with the deities, and after they enter the temple, there's a little area near the readings that we first went to in the sculptures. It was basically like a mirror and like this paste, and basically you just put the dot on your forehead, and Harsha explained it that it was kind of to make, it was a way for them to feel like at peace or whole. The best way I can explain it is the way like Catholics believe in taking the Eucharist, and like that feeling. I'm Catholic, so that's the way I can describe it, because it was similar to the way she described it. Harsha told us that they believed that they were, she didn't use the word blessed, but I can't quite remember the word and it's really bothering me, but they are blessed to be born into Jainism. Yeah, I can't remember the word, but they were like grateful, and it was just really interesting. While we were there, she explained that there was this deity with like a serpent, and that a lot of people ask about it, and the story was that the deity and this serpent have been going through life like 10 lives, like 10 times your soul being put into a different body or anything. And these two souls always came together and had some type of conflict, and it mostly came from the one with the serpent that would always cause conflict with the deity. And the deity was always very patient, did not have any hate towards the serpent or whatever it was at the time. And basically all of that helped the deity get to moksha, which I thought was really interesting. And before I forget, there was also these like other deities that they go and pray for. In total, she said that there were, I believe, 24, and that number never changes. It's always just 24. They also have these like heavenly beings that they pray for that are kind of have, she described it as like superpowers, so they all focus on a specific thing and they go and pray for them. And I just thought that was really interesting too. Let's see. Oh, Harsha was the librarian at the Jain Center, and she said that if anyone wants to go and find her, she would want to learn anything about like Jainism. She's got books, and she was super open to like helping people learn and everything. And while we were sitting with Harsha doing the pujas away from the deity, it was really interesting because she was explaining that in Jainism you don't really have love or hate. You kind of are just neutral with everyone. That's the goal. She said that Jains don't believe that a few seconds of anger should have like an action, because the moment passes and it's gone. And if you continue to create an action that causes karma, good karma, bad karma, it just puts you through that cycle and away from moksha. So I thought it was interesting because she also said that like the people she comes to meet, she doesn't consider them friends or enemies, that they're all just human beings. And that was just very interesting. We talked a little bit about the non-violence vow and how when they pray they ask for forgiveness for any violence that they have caused. Let's say like there was a death that wasn't her fault, but it came because of a path she crossed, and so she asked for forgiveness, and they do that all the time. And I thought that was really interesting. But yeah, she showed us like her books that she uses to pray. We kind of got to like follow her lead on the pujas, which was really cool to kind of take a part in that. But yeah, I think that's the end of my project. I will include the photos of me and I think some of Kristen, along with the videos that I took on that day. Hello class, I'm here with Kristen. We showed up at the Jain temple, and apparently they don't have a 7:30 service thing, and it's like 7:15, so we're gonna see what we can do. Okay, so update, we were able to go into the temple. and we just got out of the ritual that they were doing. It was super, super interesting, and I'll talk about it more later. But I'm very surprised and I feel very good. I feel like I've grown a lot from it. But yeah, I just want to do a quick update. I think it's about 9:30 right now. So we've been here for about a little over 2 hours. And yeah.